My name is Jennifer Brown, the director of Baca Wines. I am thrilled to be with you guys here today. I'm so happy for our happy hour today. We have lots to celebrate. On the one hand, our tasting rooms are back open. Gavin or Newsom opened up our outside tastings at our tasting rooms, especially our one in Healdsburg. So that's a big hooray. And then also I'm so excited to be hosting some fabulous guests here today from the Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm gonna have Robyn Dixon and also Gizelle Bryant in here today. I don't know if you guys have been following all of the craziness that's been going on the Real Housewives of Potomac, but there's a lot of juicy things to be talking about there, and I'm just so excited to be talking to Robyn. We also have two fabulous wines here today, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about the I Spy Zinfandel and also the Pinch Hitter Carignan. So with that, I'm going to invite Robyn to join me here. And I can't wait to ask her so many questions about what's been going on behind the scenes and also in her life, because they just are nonstop with all of the interesting storylines that go on at Real Housewives, and also, you know, her friendship that she's got with Gizelle. They both are just some fabulous women. While we're waiting for her, I'll tell you a little bit about the wine we're drinking here today. This is our Baca I Spy Zinfandel. This comes from the Howe Mountain, which is this gorgeous vineyard up on a hillside in a pristine forest. When you're there, you feel like you're in another world. There is all these beautiful aromas of herbs like wild sage and floral smells. It's just this really incredible site that's also very high up in elevation. And then together it makes this fantastic, fantastic wine that I can't wait to try with you. Let's see if I can bring Robyn on again. Here we go. It's going to be a lot of fun because we get to try two different wines today with two different fabulous women. Speaking of a fabulous woman, Robyn, how are you?
Hi, I'm so good. How are you?
Really good. Cheers. Happy
Cheers.
Wednesday. Happy hump day to you.
Yes, happy hump day. I think I poured too much, didn't I?
You did not. That looks like the perfect amount of wine.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not like an expert or a connoisseur. That's why I'm here with you. So like I might have some faux pas. I did learn, yes, hold it from the stem, right?
Yeah, generally speaking, you hold it from the stem. With red wine, it doesn't matter as much because the temperature doesn't matter. But if you've got a white wine in there, it's better to hold down here so you don't warm it up too much.
You don't warm it up.
Yeah.
And then and we're swirling, right?
We're swirling. We're swirling. Yeah, that's important because it releases the aromas into the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay.
Okay, so speaking of winery, I've got other things I want to ask you about, but what was it like being at the winery that time with you guys? That sounded so crazy. I can't even imagine.
I know. Well, okay. So it's so funny. I think people lose sight of the fact that we were at a winery. And so crazy things after you've been like sipping wine all night, crazy things can happen.
Yeah.
And we were winding down and we were trying, just ready to wrap up and go home. But a couple of people had a little too much to drink and just a little bit and took it a little too far. Someone said, check your volume. I don't know if that's to me or to you.
Oh, I don't know.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you guys tell us out there I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Okay. I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Okay. So if you guys can't hear us, tell us. So to be honest, it was a huge surprise that it went that way because we were having a good time. We were just, enjoying one another. We were wrapping up. And so it was like the biggest shock, and it went so fast. Like it was just like all of a sudden it's like we went from like 0 to 100, and it was just a whole bunch of chaos. And from my perspective, I was actually, you couldn't really see me on the show, but I was actually holding the table up because it was a really heavy wooden plank that was laying over top of 2 barrels. And if that plank started shifting, and if that had fallen on people's, feet, or even, I didn't want to like create any more damage to the to the
Yeah. That's
the
really kind of
winery, and
you.
I was trying to
Yeah.
like prevent all the glasses from falling off, and so I was just like, what is going on? And I'm like
That
holding
would have
this
been a whole nother
table.
lawsuit.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like, let's try to like minimize the damage here. But
Oh my
it
gosh.
was, it was disappointing that it went there, but things happen when you drink alcohol.
Yeah. Well, hopefully today we don't have quite as craziness as we're virtually doing our wine tasting today,
Yes, no, we won't. There's no one here.
but um,
No.
I'm so excited to have both you and also Gizelle on because I know you guys are really close in real life. I'm so
Yeah.
curious. Maybe people know this, and I'm more of a recent fan of you guys, so I don't know your whole story, but were you friends before the show started? Did you guys join together? How did that,
At,
or did you become close
yes,
after you joined?
absolutely. So Giselle and I have been friends for a few years. We were actually introduced by Charisse, who was on season 1 and 2 with
Oh, okay.
us. Charisse invited us both to a charity event, and we sat next to each other, and we just like, we didn't know each other, but we just started talking and laughing as if we were old friends, and we
Yeah.
just had a good old time. And so from there we were like instant friends. And
Mm-hmm.
so doing the show together was very it was fun. It was exciting. It was like, oh, we get to do something
Mm-hmm.
that like, not everyone gets to do. We get to do it together as friends. And so
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a fun experience for sure.
I just saw someone you have so many fans out there. There's so many comments coming in and so many hearts just lighting up the screen. But someone just wrote, "We love you, the Green Eyed Bandits." Who came up with
Thank
that?
you.
Who came up with that nickname for you guys? It's such a cute one.
It's so funny. I don't know if it was Ashley. Because I think I remember okay, so I remember one time in season 2, we kind of rolled up in her restaurant, and she called us like the Green Eyed Sisters, and I don't know who turned it into the Green Eyed Bandits. I really don't know who started that, but we didn't start that. Like someone called us that, and then it just stuck. It was like perfect. So
Do you
um,
like it though, right? It's a
oh
term
yeah,
of
I love it.
endearment, I think.
I love it. Like anytime you can have like a a nickname for a friendship, like that means like you're really friends. So
Yeah. When's the last time that you talked to her? Do you guys talk every day?
almost. I talked to her yesterday.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Oh nice. Yeah.
Yes. We
Oh
talk quite frequently.
yeah.
So, and that's the great thing about our friendship. It's not just rooted only in the show or about the
Mhm.
show. Like, we were on the phone the other day for like an hour, and that hour like went so fast. And so, it's just really cool just to like have a friend like that, and to be on this journey with her. And
Yeah.
I'm always floored every season that we're on the show. I'm like, gosh, we've been doing this for so long. Like we've been doing this for 5 years. And so it's been really fun and cool.
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that. Oh, that's so much. Okay, I could talk to you about that all day and your friendship, but I do have some questions. I'm going to ask both you and also Gizelle together, and I want to see how you guys answer them differently.
Okay.
My first one for you is, what has been your favorite confessional outfit? Because you guys have had the most amazing. Actually, today I don't normally, not that I look so glamorous, but I felt like I had to dress up a little bit more than I normally do because you guys look so glamorous all the time.
Well, thank you. And to be honest, since COVID, I've been wearing sweats and hoodies. I probably like repeat the same sweats every day.
Okay, so
So
you are a normal person like the rest of us. It's good to know
100%,
that.
100%. Like I
Okay.
got dressed up for you.
Oh, well, that's very kind.
Yes,
And
yes,
everyone else watching, of course. Yeah.
yes. So my favorite confessional outfit might be from season 3. It
Hmm.
was a royal blue dress with like a deep V, and I had my hair kind of
Oh,
like half
uh-huh.
up, with like tendrils hanging down. I like that outfit. It's kind of like um, it was like youthful and fun and
Hmm.
fresh, but
But still
not,
sexy.
yeah, sexy, but not trying too hard. Like I
Yeah.
think that when I see like old pictures, I'm like, oh, I like that look. So,
Yeah.
and then like
Yeah.
the royal blue color, like I don't know if you noticed, but I wear royal blue a lot in my confessionals. So
Oh, that's true. You do. Well, it's a
yeah,
beautiful color on you, and it probably complements your green eyes really well, too.
yeah, it does in my skin tone. And
Yeah.
so I kind of, it's funny when it comes time for confessionals. It's just like, I somehow find a royal blue dress.
Oh, well, that makes sense. It makes you look very royal too. I love it.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Next question for you is, what's the craziest thing that happened at the reunion that we saw a lot of crazy things, but what is something that happened that we didn't see?
The past reunion, the most
I meant
recent
the
one.
past reunion, but any reunion would be interesting.
Well, I feel like if it was crazy, then you're going to see it. Like they're not going to leave the crazy out.
That's
So,
fair. That's fair. Okay. Well, what's one thing we
but
didn't see that maybe wasn't crazy?
I mean, I can say honestly, we filmed for 11 hours, and so
I know that
there,
sounds so grueling. So
right?
grueling.
Yeah. I mean, it's growing, but we suck it up. We're pros. We get it
Right.
done, and we try to put everything out there on the table and resolve issues. And so, when you go from filming for 11 hours and it's cut down to 3.5 hours, then of course there's a lot that's left
Mm-hmm.
out. So there was, I think the confrontations that we saw, I think they were a little bit more dragged out and like elaborate, and there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
more to the stories,
I'm
but there's just
sure.
not enough time for them to like show. So I'm trying to think of like something that I could like specifically say that like you didn't really see. I just think sometimes it's like you just don't get to see
Yeah.
everything, and so some of the context is taken out. So I
Oh, I'm
know like
sure.
people are like, when I was talking about I'm so glad Juan Dixon's not here, like I said that because Chris was being extremely disrespectful, and like so they only showed like a snippet of what he was saying to us, and it was like, but what he was really doing, it was just too
Mm-hmm.
much in my opinion for a man to be talking to a woman like that. So
Yeah. No, I
I
hear
feel
you
like they
for sure.
saved him a little bit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they,
Um,
they pulled back.
there are so
And
many questions. Oh, go ahead.
and honestly, and I wasn't referring to like I'm glad Juan's here, because he was like, not that he was going to fight Chris, but Juan doesn't like that type of drama. Like he doesn't want to be anywhere near it, and he's always expressed his like concerns about
Mm-hmm.
being pulled into that type of drama. And so I was really making that statement more as a general statement, like I'm so glad he's not here to experience this, because
I bet.
he would have been really upset that he was even there and pulled into that. And he has a job. He's got bosses he has to report to, and so some of that stuff just doesn't look favorable to people who got to report to their boss. So
That makes
I just didn't want him
a lot of
dragged into
sense.
that.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
I don't think my husband would be would be into that
Yeah,
either.
no, not at all. Like no one wants to sit there and listen to someone just like totally attack people over stuff that didn't happen, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Well, speaking, so I had planned on asking you some other questions, but there's so many questions coming in from people asking about your engagement to Juan, and so people want to see your ring. They want to talk about your engagement, how you're feeling about that. So maybe I'll just ask you about that. How does it? Congratulations, first of all, and how is it being engaged?
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Here's the ring.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, you did such a good job.
Yes, I love it. It's so unique and it's so me. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm like so down to earth and laid back, and like even though it's like nice and big, like I don't know. For me, I'm just like I wanted something different. I love
Mm-hmm.
being different. So
Oh my gosh,
but
definitely.
it's been awesome, because it's like it just we've been in this situation for a while. We've been living together for a while, and being engaged again, it just takes the guesswork out of everything. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's like we can move forward together without wondering like, well, where is this going and what are we doing? And so it's kind of really cool, because it's like we are totally back together and back just heading in the right direction and on the same page. It's always good
Yeah,
to be on the same page
that's
when you're
yeah,
sharing a house.
really important. That's
Yeah,
wonderful. I'm so happy for you.
yeah.
Um, well, speaking of being happy for you and your engagement, I'd love to toast you. I'm going to pour myself a little bit more wine and tell you about this wine that we're trying.
This is really good, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, I'm enjoying it, so I need you to tell me all about it.
Okay, I will. So first I'll say my family's been in the wine business for a long time. I'm third generation. my parents are probably better known for our Hall wine brand that makes Cabernet that based out in Napa. We have a lot of wonderful traditions that we follow. We use the very best oak, the very best grapes from single vineyards. But when I started this brand, I wanted to have a fresh approach to it. So we make the wine in a fresher way for Zinfandel. And then we also have a little fun with our branding. So all of our wines are named after games. This wine is named I Spy for that game that you played as a kid when you look up, and say I Spy with my little eye. And that's because this is from a mountain called Howe Mountain, really high up in the vineyards. And when you're on the valley floor in Napa, you can look up and play I Spy when you're looking at it. It's very just cute. This really gorgeous location. It's a forest. I love this wine because on the nose, so what I do when I taste a wine is I first look at it and I look at the color. And so on this wine, I see a bright red color. And that's generally because it has a lot of acid in it, and that comes from a cooler climate. So this is high up in elevation, so it's a little bit cooler there. And what do you think about the color, by the way? I don't need to be leading this whole thing. Do you see?
I mean, it is. I see that it's almost like a cranberry color. So it's not like a dark red, it's more of a bright red.
Exactly right. Yeah. Totally right. It's a bright red.
And I never realized that there were actually different like colors within red wine. I just, okay, it's red wine. So I never realized that there would be a difference.
Totally. Well, and the color actually tells you a lot about the wine. The brighter it is, generally speaking, the younger and the fresher it is. If you think about like a brandy, which is made from wine, it's got more of like a tawny color to it. It's more like brown and orangey. And that's generally when a wine is older. And we make wines with a lot of energy. And so this wine has a lot of bright energy out of it. Kind of like you Real Housewives ladies of Potomac have a lot of bright energy too.
Right.
Okay, so on the nose on this wine, what I love about this wine is it has black pepper and lots of really fresh fruit like raspberries on the nose. And I always say, whatever you smell is right. There's no wrong answers here. So what do you smell on this wine?
I do feel I smell like a berry, almost like a raspberry.
Totally.
Yeah. And so are there actual raspberries in the wine?
It's a really good question. There's not actually raspberries in the wine. It's just the climate that it comes from that gets warm during the day and cool during the night that gives it that flavor, but it's still just all grapes.
Wow. That's so cool.
And then on the taste, it has, like I said, a lot of energy, like a lot of oomph to it. And for me, it's just a really nice balance of richness, but also freshness at the same time.
I like this. I'm usually a white wine drinker. So to drink this and actually like really enjoy it is really special. So I feel like this one is kind of, would you say this kind of can lean more towards white wine-ish?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, it's not like a huge Cabernet, for example, which I think what's so nice about white wine is you can have it all day long. You can have it with salad or with with a big steak or with no food. And I'd say this wine is in that same direction of being a little bit lighter. And you can have it by itself. It doesn't have to be paired with a big piece of meat, for example, to pair. So in that sense, I think it's similar to white for sure.
Yeah. I like this a lot. So
you said you're an amateur, but you have a lot of wine tasting shops. Let me tell you, Robyn. I can tell.
I mean, I'll drink it all, but I can't say like, I have, most people, they have their favorite, whether they like Pinot or Cabernet, and I'm just like, just give it to me, I'm like,
you just like good wine. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Robyn. I've taken up a lot of your time. I know you're really busy. You've got your fantastic business Embellished, which I love the hats you guys are doing. I know.
We froze for a second. Okay.
Oh, sorry about that. But I know you have your hat business that's going so well.
Yes. And I've seen some people ask about it because I've been out of stock. So I should be restocking in a couple of weeks. But as a small business, managing inventory is like probably like beyond, making sales, managing inventory is like the number one challenge as a small business. And so, just bear with me, but I am restocking.
Well, I'm sorry for those of you that are waiting to get those hats, but how lucky that people are loving what you're making so much that you've sold out. That's fantastic.
Yes, I mean, I was so excited by the response. I mean, it was, you know, really something that I made for myself, and it was so cool to see that other people picked up on it too. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So thank you to people who have purchased the hat or on the waiting list or just are supportive. I really appreciate everyone.
Well, I'm going to let you go, but do you have any last thoughts that you want to either share with the group or with Gizelle, who I'm about to talk to?
I mean, you could just tell my girl I will see her soon. I miss her. Actually,
Okay.
I'll probably talk to her tomorrow.
Nice. Okay.
Yes, but have fun. Thank you everyone for joining us. And I am looking forward to my Baca wines and my Hall
Aw.
wines. And
Thanks, Robyn.
thank you for stocking me up.
Thank you. All
Thank
right.
you.
All right. Cheers. Have a good
All right.
night.
Cheers. Bye, everyone.
Well, that was just wonderful. It was so fun going live with Robyn. We get to talk to Gizelle next. How lucky are we to be able to ask her some of the same questions and also just get to learn about her perspective of what goes on at the Real Housewives of Potomac as well. Well, while we're waiting for her, I'll just tell you guys a little bit more about the second wine that we're about to taste. And then we will continue our wine tasting as soon as Gizelle comes on. This is our second wine that we're going to taste. It's our pinch hitter. One of the things that we like to do at Baca is we like to have a lot of fun. And I name all of the wines after games. So this one's called pinch hitter, which you guys might know is a baseball term. It's a Carignan, which is super unusual. Vana Hussein is asking, where can we purchase? Is the wine available in stores? The best place to purchase our wine is from bacawines.com. And we would love for you guys to check out any of our wines that you're interested in. We have a whole skew of lots of different Zinfandels that are fantastic, as well as rosé and a white wine. We are in some stores, which you can go on our website, bacawines.com, and see what areas we're in. And we also always respond to instant DMs on here. So if you ask us, we can look in your exact area and tell you where we're selling. I'm gonna see if Gizelle is available. Let's see, because I have so many questions for her. Not yet. We'll just wait here until she comes to join us. But people always ask me how we came up with the Baca name. I'll just tell you a little bit about that. Baca means berry in Latin. If you're familiar with the wine god Bacchus, Bacchus, Baca is the Latin root of Bacchus. And so we wanted to call attention to the fact that Zinfandel is the original California grape. And so there's a lot of tradition around Zinfandel. There are really amazing old vine Zinfandel vineyards out there. You can't grow old vine anything else. There's not old vine Cabernet in California. There's not old vine Pinot Noir. Those tend to only last about 20 years or so here. And so it's really amazing that we have these heritage vineyards that were planted sometimes over 100 years ago, and we still get to keep them. This wine, the second wine that we're going to taste, the pinch hitter, is actually 120 years old from the vines. So we're super lucky to be doing that. What was my favorite show moment this season? That's what someone just asked me. It's a calibration just asked. Oh, good. I hear Gizelle is on her way. I can't wait. My favorite moment has to be the Monique binder moment. That was insane. I can't believe she brought a binder with a file on every single lady. I can't wait to ask Gizelle what that was like. I don't know how much she wants to go into detail on that, but I just thought that was a super crazy moment that I've never seen in any of the Real Housewives shows before. So just super, super exciting. Let's see if Gizelle is there. Not yet. All right, Gizelle, if you're watching, please join us. I can't wait to talk to you. You can request to join the live video at any time. So let's see. I'll try one more time if I can find her. Gizelle is such an amazing woman. I can't wait to ask her. I saw on her Instagram that she's a proud AKA sorority sister. I was in a sorority myself too, but just how proud she is that her sorority sister Kamala Harris was elected to vice president. I can't wait to ask her what she thinks about that because oh, here's Gizelle. I can't wait to ask her myself. It's just amazing that we have such an amazing woman as the vice president now. Hey Gizelle, how are you?
Hey, what's
How's
happening?
it going?
Good.
Oh, I love those wines that I see there on your shelf up there.
She would, and I'm loving what I'm drinking right now. Yes, I am.
Oh, thank you. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you.
Oh,
No, this is fantastic. I'm not even lying. Like, this
oh,
is
you're so nice.
amazing. And I'm a red wine girl.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be like heavy. It can be just like giving me heartburn. But this, smooth and amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. It's a little bit of an unusual wine. We mostly make Zinfandels at Baca. This is a Carignan. It's my grandparent. This is my family's winery. I don't know if you know that, but I'm third generation, and my grandparents used to pronounce this kind of wine Carignan, because so it's pronounced Carignan, but they used to, oh, that's probably coming through backwards, isn't it? But you know what I'm saying? It's so funny because wine, it's gotten so fancy, you know, like it is sophisticated and it is a fancy business. We spend a lot of time making it, but I think we need to have more fun with our wine. And so sometimes it tickles me when I think about my grandfather's calling it Carignan because, you know, it doesn't sound so sophisticated.
But no, it says pitch hitter, which I love because I'm like, that's who you always want to go to, the pitch hitter.
The pinch hitter? Yep. They come in a pinch. Yep. They're the ones who are going to bring you home. That's right. Yeah. Okay, so one thing I was saying right before you came live with me is I know you're a proud sorority member of AKA, and how did it feel when a sorority sister was elected our vice president?
Okay. So I pledged my sorority like umpteen years ago. And if somebody would have told me then, you know what? In a little while, the vice president of the United States of America would be your soror. I'd be like, yeah, okay. But it happened. And it's totally unbelievable. And it's so crazy because I move around the house sometimes and I sing my sorority songs and I talk about my sorority.
Oh, do you really?
To my
Oh, that's so fun.
right? And my kids are like, shut up, mom. Like they don't get it yet. They don't care. They think I'm a loser. But now that the vice president is a member of my sorority, I am a loser no longer in my children.
Yeah.
They're like, holy crap, this is important. This is amazing.
Yeah.
So I tell you, when she was first just even put on the ticket, I was like in tears. And now she's the vice president. It's really, really phenomenal.
I agree. It gives me chills thinking about it. You know, she's broken so many barriers, you know, first woman vice president, so many things. And I'm just so proud of where we are as a country. It's really exciting.
It really, really is. And, you know, I talk about my kids all the time. And I always say that, like, now they get it. And they get that, like, somebody's making decisions who looks like them and who thinks like them, who talks like them. And that's a big deal.
Yeah. I think Eleanor Roosevelt once said, you can't be what you can't see. So if you don't actually have role models that you know, can picture yourself as, it's hard to grow up to want to be those things, you know?
Absolutely. And to know that there's decisions being made for this country with their best interests at heart. Like, we've never been able to see and feel that until now.
I agree.
Yeah.
I was in a sorority myself too, Kappa Kappa Gamma in college, and we also have a famous alum, but it's not quite the same level, but Meghan Markle,
Princess. That's
pretty exciting. Yeah. And she actually was in my my sorority at my college too, which was exciting.
Very nice.
Well, anyway, enough about me. I want to talk about you.
Yes.
I was talking to Robyn about your friendship with her and how you guys have been friends for a long time. I would love to know from you, what's it like to be on this show with someone that you feel so close with? It must be a huge relief and makes it a lot more fun, I would imagine.
100%. You know, when we were starting this franchise, they had reached out to me and then they asked me, you know, do I have any friends? I was like, I do. And she's beautiful. And her name's Robyn. And she's going to be on the show with me. I cannot go down this road by myself. Like, and so it's a relief. It's a, you know, if you're doing something that you love to do, or you're doing something that's fun, you want your bestie with you. And she is. So it just makes me feel like, wow, how special of a journey that we're taking, that we're able to take it together. And I've really been like just blessed by it.
Mm-hmm. You have so many fans. You and Robyn both have so many fans. Everyone's hearting up a storm. Oh, I just want to ask you one question. Someone said, what was the craziest moment that you had with Andy Cohen? I'm sure you have a ton.
I do. And I don't know if I should tell. Okay, should I tell this story?
The answer is yes, obviously.
I can't. Andy wouldn't mind me telling it, but I'm not going to tell it. But I'm going to give you another story.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble. She don't want to get fired. Okay. All right. So Andy was doing his book tour. Mm-hmm. And he was, I don't know if this was his first or second book, but he was coming through DC, and he was doing like a lunch at the Palm, and then like a question and answer with the group, with the people that came. Mm-hmm. So literally, I'm like, Andy's in town. I was like, wait a minute, Andy's in town. He's coming to town. I called Robyn. I was like, Robyn, meet me at the Palm. She's like, for what? I was like, Andy's in town. So she's like, okay. So literally, we're walking in the door, and the place was jam-packed. Andy has he's going around the room. He's answering questions. And at that moment, somebody asked, who's your favorite housewife? And Andy's typical response is, it's like a parent with their children. You can't pick like one out of the group. Yeah. So he's like in the midst of answering like that. And then me and Robyn walk in, and I scream, Gizelle and Robyn are your favorites. And he turned around and he went crazy. He just started jumping up and down. He was like, holy shit, my girls are here. Like, he was so excited, and the room just like erupted, and everybody was just like so happy. And we literally surprised Andy Cohen, and it was a great day.
I bet people had their phones up, and they probably were like freaking out because they knew they were coming to see one star, Andy Cohen, but they didn't know they were going to come see both of you guys too. They were probably freaking out to see you.
Yeah. And it was like, maybe it was early on. It might've been like after we did season 2. So, you know, it was just really nice to like show up for him and surprise him. And he had like the best reaction.
Aw, that's really cool. He seems like such a fun guy. Him on New Year's Eve, I don't know if you saw it, was hilarious.
Oh, beyond hilarious. Beyond hilarious. I was kind of like, maybe y'all can't do this anymore because y'all have been drunk every year.
They definitely did seem like that, for sure. But they were having fun.
Yes.
Maybe we should send him some wine.
Oh, definitely send him some wine. Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe I will. Okay, I asked Robyn the same questions. We only got through a few of them because we had so much other stuff to talk about and so many other questions came in, but I'm going to ask you the same questions.
Okay.
What has been your favorite confessional outfit? Because you've had so many fabulous ones, let me say.
I've had a lot of different ones. Okay, I really like, as I look back, sometimes because on Instagram, they'll like, somebody will post something and it'll be like from a while ago. I had on like a red something. My hair is in a ponytail and it's like off to the side, and I think I love that one. My little pony look.
Oh, that was beautiful. Yeah. No, you've gotten a lot of shade from people, but I think that you've always dressed very beautifully, I must say.
The shade only comes from Dum Dum Karen, and we're fine with that.
It's her thing, whatever. No problem with her.
Yeah.
You always look beautiful. Okay. What is the craziest thing that happened at the reunion that didn't air on the show?
The craziest thing that happened that didn't air. God, they pretty much air the crazy things. But let's see. That's a good one. I don't know. This was kind of crazy. Karen admitted, like, I've never invited Karen to I've moved, I have a new house, I'm building the West Wing, all that stuff. I've never invited her to my home. I've never like sent her an invitation with my address or whatever. And she like told my address. So I was like, you're a 100% stalker. You're a stalker. Like, you're stalking me, you're stalking my address. You probably drive by in the middle of the night, and that was very strange to me. Of course, I can't air that because then that's telling the world.
Right, it's private information. Right.
Yeah, but that was crazy to me.
Why would she do that? That's crazy.
Because she's weird. She was kind of like, I don't like your house. And, you know, she started saying she doesn't like the name of my street. And it was like, you're a weirdo.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you have so many people that love you. Anyway, obviously. Okay, last question for you. What's one thing that's misunderstood about you on the show?
Let's see. A lot of people feel like anything, I tell you, anything that comes out of my mouth is shade. And it's not. And I'm like, no, it wasn't shady. I'm just like asking a question. So I feel like anytime I ask a question, it's always misconstrued as shade. And I'm just curious. I'm just like wanting to know more information. So I think people just feel like I can't just have a conversation. It's just always a tad bit of shadiness, which it probably is. But sometimes I'm just like, I just want to know, girl, like what's going on?
Well, I think that you speak with confidence. And I think sometimes people probably get intimidated by that, you know, or maybe think that you have meaning behind what you're saying when, like you said, you're just asking a question. So
I'm asking a question. And like, I know I do with Candace a lot because Candace can get very like defensive. And I'm like, Candace, I'm not being shady. Like I have to like preface, I'm not being shady. She's like, you're being shady if you're saying you're not being shady. No, really, I'm not being shady.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's really funny. Well, gosh, I could ask you questions all day, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about this wine that we're tasting here today. So we previewed it. This is our pinch hitter. So at Baca, I was saying this to Robyn, we, my family has a long tradition of making wine. We use some of the most luxurious high-end techniques, you know, picking grapes in the middle of the night at their optimum freshness. We use all French barrels. We, you know, hand do all of the processes in the tasting room that we can to just really make it as high quality as possible. But that being said, even if you follow all these amazing traditions, it doesn't mean that you have to, I hate saying this, but be tired or boring. And for me, it's important to always stay fresh and have a fresh approach on both the way you're making the wine, but also in the marketing of it. So I wanted to have fun with it. So I named all of our wines after games. This one's called Pinch Hitter. And it's a name that we reserve for a wine we make every year that's a little bit different than the rest. It kind of comes in and really will drive that home run for us.
Yes.
And thank you. This one's a Carignan. It's not a very typical grape, but it comes from this really special 120-year-old vineyard in Sonoma. And when you get an old vine vineyard like that, the grapes are really small in size, so they're more potent. They're not as diluted because they don't have as much surface area. So it just comes up with a very rich, dense wine. And I love this wine. I always call it my Thanksgiving wine because it pairs really well with things that I would have at Thanksgiving, like cranberry sauce and turkey and stuffing and things with a lot of spice.
Yes, I feel like chicken, turkey, meats would go very well with this. Like it's really, really good.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I want it to be a food wine because it's meant to be enjoyed when you're together with your family or with friends and go well with any food.
I'm trying to figure out what is like that base taste. What am I tasting?
Well, I think a lot of what's really typical for this kind of wine is to get like red fruits, like strawberry. So I get strawberry in this wine, but I also get spice, which is why I think of Thanksgiving usually, because it has a little bit of that sort of like baking spice, allspice flavor to it. Is that what you're getting?
I'm getting the spice, which is, it's nice. It's not overpowering. It's like, it's perfect. And I'm a red, I think I told you this, I'm a red wine drinker. I really don't do a lot of whites. I don't know why. I think they're always a little too sweet, but this is the perfect mix of like woody a little bit and
definitely.
And, but not too harsh.
Thank you. I totally agree with you. It's just what you're describing. The woodiness is, you know, from the aging in the French barrels that we use for 10 months. And it has that really nice smoke. It's the first wine that I tasted with Robyn is actually only available to the club right now, which you can, people can join our club if they want to have access to that. This wine is one of my favorite wines that will also be re-released in the club too. And you can get it on bacawines.com. But it's just got that really lovely flavor that bursts out of the glass that
Yeah.
I love so much.
Yes, yes. Agreed.
Oh,
Agreed.
thank you. Well, you've talked to me already, probably past we planned on talking, but before we end, I did want to ask you if you have any thoughts to share with all of your many, many fans that are watching you right now.
Yeah, Potomac has been this like little show. I've always felt like it's this little show that we have like these very, very loyal fans that have been with us since day one. And then season 5, it kind of like went ballistic, and everybody and their grandmother was watching. And I want to just say, thank you for those people. But really, 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 I want to thank the people that have been with us from day one, because they've really been able to follow our stories and our journey and go on the highs and lows with us, because we have so many highs and lows.
I've seen them, yes.
And, we really appreciate it. And we don't take for granted our day one fans. So thank you.
Yeah, well, you have so many of them, and so many of them are here today. Well, thank you so much, Gizelle. It's been such a pleasure. You're a delight. And just like, I knew that you knew about wine and you appreciated it, but it was lovely to actually sit here and taste it with you. You've got some wonderful perspective on wines, for sure.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And thank you for having it'd been even better if Robyn and I could have been on together. But
I know.
It's all good.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to do it soon. We just got the okay from the governor to reopen our tasting room. So you guys have to come down and visit us, either just the two of you or other friends. We'd love to host you anytime.
Where's come down?
We're in Healdsburg. I guess it's come over from where you are, excuse me. But you're over in, Healdsburg is in Northern California. It's in the wine country.
Oh, we're coming. We are coming, okay?
Yeah.
As soon as we can get 5 minutes out of our schedule, we are coming, okay?
Okay, please do. I know you guys like wine, like wineries, and we would love to host you anytime.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
All right. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye, Gizelle. Thanks. Well, that was fantastic. For those of you who enjoyed today's show, my name is Jennifer Brown from Baca Wines. Please follow us at Baca Wines. We've got lots of fun happy hours with celebrities and really interesting people from all fields, where we taste wine every week and have so much fun together. So please tune in for more shows in the future. And in the meantime, have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Thank you.